A bullet ripped through a crowded London street and into the brain of a 9-year-old girl. She was sitting outside a restaurant, eating ice cream with her family. She wasn't a target. She wasn't involved. She was simply there when someone decided to turn a public street into a firing range. What followed would leave a child permanently disabled, multiple people fighting for their lives, and expose a chilling level of planning behind one of London's most disturbing shootings. The man responsible was Javon Riley, 33, from Tottenham. And this was not an accident. It was calculated. On the evening of Wednesday, 29th May 2024, Kingsland Road in Dalston was busy and alive. Restaurants were full. People sat outside eating. Traffic slowed as it passed through the narrow stretch of road. It was the kind of place families choose because it feels safe. Among them was a family enjoying a quiet evening together, and a 9-year-old girl eating ice cream. What nobody there knew was that for days, someone had been watching this exact spot. Prosecutors told the court that Javon Riley had spent time sitting in a bar directly opposite the restaurant. CCTV footage showed him calmly drinking cocktails, pina coladas, while watching the street. He wasn't rushing. He wasn't hiding. He was observing. He watched how traffic slowed. He watched where people sat. He watched how long people stayed. This wasn't coincidence. This was surveillance. Riley was involved in an ongoing feud with rival members of an organized crime network. The court heard that he became fixated on retaliation, not confrontation, not intimidation. Execution. In the days leading up to the shooting, Riley returned repeatedly. He studied the street at different times. He calculated movement, visibility, and timing. On the night of the attack, he traveled from North London in a stolen car, driving past the restaurant several times to make sure the men he believed were his targets were present. Only when he was satisfied did he move to the next stage. Moments later, a stolen Ducati Monster motorcycle pulled up outside the restaurant. 2 men were on the bike. The rider slowed. The passenger raised a firearm. 6 shots were fired into a crowded public space. People screamed. Chairs scraped across the pavement. Diners ran as the sound of gunfire echoed down Kingsland Road. 3 men were hit, and 1 bullet struck the 9-year-old girl in the head. She collapsed instantly. The street turned into chaos. Witnesses tried to help as emergency services were called. All 4 victims were rushed to hospital for emergency, life-saving surgery. The child survived, but the damage was catastrophic. Doctors discovered that the bullet had lodged in her brain. She underwent major surgery and now lives with a titanium plate in her skull. She has weakness down one side of her body. Her physical development has been affected. Her independence has been compromised. Her childhood was taken from her in seconds. In court, the girl's mother described how her daughter was once energetic, adventurous, and full of life. Now she watches from the sidelines. The family, she said, lives with pain every single day, emotionally, physically, and financially. This wasn't bad luck. This wasn't being in the wrong place at the wrong time. This was the direct result of a deliberate decision to bring a gun to a crowded street. After the shooting, Riley did not panic. He did not flee blindly. The court heard that Riley ensured the gunman escaped. He arranged transport away from the scene and helped dispose of the firearm. To this day, neither the gun nor the shooter has been recovered. Detectives described Riley as calm, calculating, and methodical. The investigation that followed was extensive. Officers analyzed CCTV footage from across Dalston, tracing movements before and after the shooting. They examined vehicle data, phone records, and travel patterns. Slowly, a clear picture emerged. Riley was not the man who pulled the trigger, but he was the man who made it happen. He selected the location. He monitored the targets. He coordinated the timing. He facilitated the escape, and he set in motion an act of violence that destroyed a child's future. At the Old Bailey, the jury heard how Riley's actions demonstrated a complete disregard for innocent life. The judge later described the shooting as reckless, brutal, and devastating, not just for the intended targets, but for everyone caught in the crossfire. On Friday, 12th of September, Javon Riley was sentenced to life imprisonment, with a minimum term of 34 years. He was found guilty of the attempted murder of 3 men and causing grievous bodily harm to the 9-year-old girl. As he was sentenced, the girl's mother spoke of the fear that now defines her family's life. She said the world no longer feels safe for her daughter. She said nothing will ever be the same. Police continue to appeal for information about the gunman who pulled the trigger. A reward of up to $15,000 remains available for information leading to his identification, arrest, and prosecution. Detectives believe people know who he is, and they are urging anyone with information to come forward, because while one man is now behind bars, the person who fired the shots and left a child living with a bullet still inside her brain is still out there. Subscribe for daily crime updates.